everyone, I'm Alex and I'm the hands behind Lovecraft Crochet. My plushies are for the anxious, depressed, autistic, and neurodivergent. Small enough to travel in a purse, backpack, diaper bag, or even your pocket. You can check out my Facebook page or TikTok to see what patterns are available and stay tuned for the new ones coming out. I also make hats, scarves, blankets, and dice bags for the tabletop gamer or dice goblin in your life. Feel free to order through the page, TikTok DMs, or via email at love.craft.crochet@gmail.com. Now, on to the segment.
Urban legends, missing heaven, hookman coming for you, missing 15 minutes. Mothman's flying at you, missing 15 minutes.
Welcome to Missing 15 Minutes, where we deep dive into the murky waters of myths and come back with the fakest photos this side of ChatGPT. I'm Sam Rossi, reading a script by AJ.
Hi, I'm AJ. I didn't write it into the script. Oh, wait, yes.
Yeah,
no.
you did,
Oh,
but later.
Sorry.
You can really tell how many scripts AJ has written in bulk by the time he runs out of funny ways to say things. How are you doing over there, bro? Beautiful. There goes something. So you saw the title of the episode, and if you're following along with us on this, we are on part 3 of the great grand exploration of the Loch Ness Monster, Nessie. So far, the history of the monster. We've talked about it when it got yelled at by the saint. So far in the history of the monster, we have talked about when it got yelled at by a saint and then vanished for a little under 1,500 years. And then we have the modern reemergence, when finalizing a road led to easy access to a loch. And all it took was one sighting in May of 1933 to create a boom. Not necessarily called the Summer of Nessie, but boy, was it a hell of a summer for Nessie. We left off with the first modern sighting and the preceding weeks that led from everyone agreeing it was a monster fish or sturgeon.
Sturgeon. There's a T.
Sturgeon.
Do you think that... Wait until we get to the surgeon's photo, which is coming up this episode, I think.
And slowly shifting to a kelpie, with ending with the Spicer sighting that officially gave birth to the plesiosaur look. But this is going to be mostly about the fun of photos that emerged in 1930s following that solidified it all. No, not that photo. Yet. So coming out of the summer of Nessie in 1933, we have the first photo of Nessie from Hugh Gray in November of 1933. In the video version of this, you'll be seeing the absolute dog water photo, and it's, well, nothing. It's nothing. I mean, it's blurry as hell, and if you don't know what it's supposed to look like, it can look like nothing or anything. I have seen it where you look at it going...
I believe this one is the dog.
Now, the dog one, okay. Officially, the photo is supposedly Nessie, but it's a dog. The second you know that Gray was walking his Labrador by the lake and realize that it's actually a picture of his dog head in the water as it swam towards the camera, you see it. And yes, this is AJ being a buzzkill, but this is a picture that everyone uses other in...
That photo.
Yeah, it's totally a dog with a stick.
Yeah.
That's a dog with a fucking stick.
Yeah. However, this is the version we kept seeing all the time. See,
yeah, now it looks like a panther.
See, once you don't know, like, once I heard that it's a dog, like, I've seen that picture a billion... you're about to say it.
It looks like a panther. Not that one. That one looks like dog.
Where do you see dog in this one? Especially since a lot of people do usually like try and put an outline to it. Like, are they supposed to be the head? Anyways, sorry.
Now, where was
Uh,
so AJ's being a buzzkill, but this is a photo. This is a picture that everyone uses in addition to the surgeon photo. And it's taken over 30 years of seeing this to finally see the dog's head in the photo. Why? Because everyone who uses it always makes a diagram to be like, oh, it's the wake of the creature, or oh, that's how the body is supposed to be there. Basically, AJ is upset that he's been had. He's been bamboozled, unlike the time he was bean-boozled by his kid. Have you ever had a pomegranate?
You are cutting my Malcolm X reference in half here.
Led astray, run amok for so many years. God damn it. And now it's the one that bamboozled the world. Well, technically, we should mention when a motorcyclist saw the creature again and had a drawing done to show it's a plesiosaur, but by this time, the public assumption was that, which leads to April 20th, 1934. Smoke up, everybody.
April. Oh, 420. Blaze it. I get it.
I'm keeping that in. The big one. The one we all know. Again, not quite. April 20th was when every newspaper was reporting that Dr. Robert Kenneth Wilson, a London gynecologist?
Yeah, he was a gynecologist. The surgeon photo is actually the gynecologist photo.
Huh.
You were on a London gynecologist.
A London gynecologist had seen the monster while driving the day before. However, the next day, the Daily Mail came out that it had bought an exclusive photo from him. Well, 2 exclusive photos, but one was pretty blurry and also kind of looks more natural. From when it first ran to now, the greatest cryptoid photo ever is cropped to not show how small it is to the scale of the lake. Yeah, once you see the original, you can see that this can't be some 10 or 20-foot monster. But I don't just want to go into what it could be. I mean, skeptics go from otter to elephant to a swan. Elephant!
People say stupid things when they're trying to debunk.
Well, you know what?
It's sort of like
but you know what? I just thought of hippos and
but it's sort of, but that's actually sort of the thing when it comes to debunking. Sometimes you can be too much. I have to have a, explanation right then and there, so it becomes an otter, an elephant. It could look like it kind of looks like an elephant's trunk, but that's the rub, because then it turns into, no, here's what it actually is.
I would actually believe the otter.
Well, yeah, especially since a shit ton of otters and seals live in the area. However, that's not what it is.
But since it's primarily a silhouette, it's hard to make out. But let's be totally honest. It's been a known hoax image since 1975. Yeah, it gets buried under the money-making empire that has built up. But yeah, December 7th, 1975. The Sunday Telegram actually had a full article. Actually, it had a couple, but mostly the one matters is the making of a monster. Article on page 6. Again, thank you to newspaper.com for having a scan of the whole page. So I can see fun things like an ad for the Spastics Society. I kind of want to be in the Spastics Society.
You can't even say Spastic Society.
Not more than once. Anyways, not the point. The point is the page Sunday Mornings with Mandrake had someone in their team going and interviewing, and I'm giving the full name because, damn, this is a hardcore Brit posh name. Ian Colin Marmaduke Weatherall.
Yeah, told you it was a fucking Brit posh
It
name.
really is. A quote quickie actor in the 30s, but more importantly, the son of Marmaduke, Arnold Randall. Duke.
I think it's Arundel, honestly.
No. Arundel would be something else. Arundel would be an E. Or an I. The man who fabricated the whole thing because he wanted to get revenge on the Daily Mail after they ridiculed him publicly when he found Nessie footprints that were later deemed a hoax. The photo is actually a toy sub with the upper parts of the alleged Nessie sculpted onto it, and it's sort of snowballed into where it would be today.
Also, a fun fact that I don't think I actually bring up in this: they also found a toy sub from a Sherlock Holmes, I believe it's one of the Basil Rathbone ones, in the lake too when they were doing some of their sonar stuff.
Oh, that's cool. I've been watching Sherlock Holmes lately.
I know. It's free on YouTube.
Free on YouTube. Multiple different sources, too. And again, there is a second photo, but ultimately it's grainier, blurrier, and has a less defined shape. So it's faded into obscurity. Obviously, you run the one that actually looks clear and concise for maximum sensationalism compared to even photos from before. It's a really interesting story to look up in full, and yeah, definitely look it up because it gets a little convoluted. Convoluted.
Convoluted?
Convoluted. Definitely look it up because it gets a little convoluted. Speaking of convoluted, the next major milestone in Nessie's career is the G.E. Taylor video, and this is another one of those doozy ones because it doesn't exist. At least I couldn't find any actual factual version of it. So, you see, allegedly a South African tourist, G.E. Taylor, filmed the Loch Ness Monster on a 6mm color film for about 3 minutes. You'd think this would be a huge thing to reveal. A color film, not even a photo, but a full film that showed the creature allegedly making the classic neck above the water breaststroke technique that I'm not sure is scientifically accurate for plesiosaurs, but I'm not a paleontologist. Oh, and that happened in 1938, allegedly.
Right, I was going to say, but I actually added that next paragraph. Close.
Hello, the reveal of this film was not made until 1961, when a single frame of it was published by Maurice Burton's The Exclusive Monster. I think that's what's even worse than naturally waiting 30 years to release a single frame to the public. But hide it behind a paywall. I mean, it's the 60s paywall, so you open it up on the shelf, see jack all, but what's worse is that I can't even find a photo of it online.
That's honestly something that really, really bugs me is when people are like, it's sort of like what I brought up last episode, or what you brought up, or what I brought up that you read, where, you know, you had people as soon as suddenly it became very popular to be like, I saw Nessie, suddenly people going, 30 years ago I saw something in there. Yeah. And this one is, hey, 30 years or 60 years ago, I actually recorded the picture. I recorded it on the film with the reels and the videos. Cool. Can we see it?
No. But since it was officially backdated from 1961, it actually is evidence that it came after the next photos, videos, and sonar. Yes, there are sonar readings from 1954 taken by the fishing boat Rival 3. Cool. But this is also one of those, it could have easily happened, but that line picture that is Nessie shaped we've all seen doesn't seem to really line up with how 50s fishing sonars work. Oh. Sorry.
No, I'm sorry. I should have added like a paragraph break there or something, because that is about the Rival 3 sonar, air quote, finding Nessie.
Oh, okay. In fairness, AJ does have at least a major photo that he likes more than anything else, and that was in 1951. They were the Lochland Stewart photos of 3 humps in the water. Yes, they were later debunked as bales of hay with tarp over them. But it's really a grainy picture. Really? Bales of hay? That's what they're going with now.
What they're going with now? Yes, the person put bays of hay in the water wrapped in tarpaulin so they were buoyant, and took pictures and said they were the Loch Ness Monster.
With enough that there's something, and those are fake, that those are the fakes that at least matter. It's like when people say their super detailed UFO pictures is totally true. I'm sorry, your Samsung.
That one.
Yeah, I know that one. I just never thought it was that. Never crossed my mind. It's like when someone say their super detailed UFO photo is totally true. I'm sorry, your Samsung is not going to be able to get that clear of a detail of the windows of an alien ship unless it's close enough for the entire town to see it. And that's a full historic event, not whatever the fuck you're selling coast to coast.
What the hell coast to coast is?
You mean like Space Coast to coast?
No.
So I don't even know what the hell coast to coast is.
Coast to Coast AM is a talk show, a call-in radio talk show that talks all about conspiracy theories.
Okay. When did they start?
1970 something.
Cool. Do they still happen today?
I believe so, yes.
That's even cooler.
Not really. I think they push a lot of pseudoscientific stuff, and I'm assuming their viewership's down since they really have a major crossover with people like Joe Rogan.
Oh, Jesus Christ.
You know, they're the people who would entertain, I saw a UFO, I saw a UFO, I saw a UFO. You know, I think the Earth is flat. Granted, I don't think they've ever really gone that far into, you know, trying to back the flat earthers. I do think that they at least entertain the notions of it. You know what I mean? It is a conspiracy theories wet dream. There's actually a lot of really good interviews that come from it. And one day we will do an actual episode just on them.
Anyways, then there's the Peter McNabb photo where Nessie is showing off her two lovely lady lumps over by Urquhart Castle. Hey, it's on the A82 also. Sweet continuity. Anyways, it's hard to really describe it, but hey, if you're seeing this on the Carry On Productions YouTube channel, you're actually looking at something that basically looks like the dark underside of a wave more than humps. My personal favorite fact on this is while it was, and it is still considered pretty big evidence, the major thing to know is that there is a tree in the photo that is missing from the original negative when it was given to Roy Mackal to use in his 1976 book, The Monsters of Loch Ness. Roy Mackal is actually a fairly prominent character in cryptozoology circles, so even though he did have proof there was some sort of doctrine, he was still all about there being a new species of amphibians living in the lake. We'll talk more about him, though, when we talk about the Morkel. What is that word?
Mokele Membe.
What he just said since after Loch Ness. He went to Africa to find a living dinosaur. Neat.
Like I said, Roy Mackal is actually a big name, but mostly because of this picture, as well as his many books, as well as looking up Mokele Membe. That is the potential long-necked dinosaur living in Africa.
Cool.
You're going to have to say that word a lot when we do that episode.
Yeah. And I'll have you doing, and with us. And the last part we're going to cover is the Dinsdale film, shot by aeronautical engineer Tim Dinsdale, which he felt was a dark hump crossing Loch Ness at high speed and leaving a wake.
Everyone knows this one. You know this one.
I know
this is the video that pops into your head when you think a video of Loch Ness.
Yes. Don't worry, it wasn't a random encounter. He was actually on the loch to try and find Loch Ness Monster. And lucky, on his final day, is when he captured this alleged sighting. It really is beneficial to know that he was there for a week-long monster hunt. But yeah, if you're looking for strange things. Now, I want to bring up a weird point, because several blogs and even Wikipedia has unsighted point made that the Joint Air Reconnaissance Intelligence Center allegedly analyzed the film in 1966 and said it was probably animate, but JARCI.
JRIC. JRAC.
JRAC, yeah, you're right.
JRIC, really.
Jarek.
It does sound more UK if you call it Jarek.
It does, actually. Jarek. But Jarek wouldn't have reason to analyze the film, and more to point, yes, of course it's animate. It's a fucking boat. Yes, Agent knows that it's not fun to be a buzzkill, but looking at the vid and you can tell it's a boat. It's not the wake of a slender neck in the water. It's not the pattern of something that would essentially be rowing if it was above the water using its fins. Plus, there'd have been a lot more sightings talked about on that day if there was. Maybe that's the major thing that gets too sticky when it comes to a video, and we'll be talking about the next episode, because after the 60s, it's the 70s. Yeah, I mean, yeah, AJ, I guess that's how time works. But the 70s is when things get wild, because there's hot flipper pics, the first real color photo, and even the birth of the TV specials. And yes, we may get funny eventually. Serious, bro. That was a lot of information, but not a lot of laughs. And I don't even know if we're going to be getting under 15 minutes on this one.
I know, that's why we're not really going to discuss anything a lot. That's going to be at the end of this whole broadcast.
Okay. Anyways, thank you, our dearest audience, for missing 15 or so minutes with us. Next time we enter the 70s. Cleveland rocks. Cleveland rocks.
That was not the 70s at all, and we're nowhere near Ohio in this story.
I know, but it just popped
There is
in my head.
absolutely nothing that links that song.
Hanging out down the street. No.
Those are two separate songs, sissy.
I'm trying to remember the freaking theme song of that 70s show.
You just did it. Cleveland Rocks was Drew Carey's show.
Yes! You're right.
Or whenever we were driving to Ohio.
We would play that, yes. Anyways, far out, my dudes. I'm Sam Rossi.
And I'm AJ Carey.
Later, y'all. Damn, what are we doing?
What are you doing?
I don't know anymore.
Missing 15.
Keep on carrying on.
C-A-R-E-Y.
Y.
Because
Carry on production.